I'm here outside Wilson High School where protesters have gathered. They're here in support of a student who they say his name is Wyatt.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Mitchell. I'm a student at Wilson High School in Long Beach, California.
You asking what my condition is would lead to discrimination.
I really was just like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
What was it? Like, what did you say I'm not going to do anymore?
I'm not going to wear my mask.
You don't have a right. You need to
I do, yes.
the principal's permission to
No, I
leave the
do.
campus.
You're saying no matter what, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. They can suspend me.
I'm super stoked to have you.
Yeah.
This is I read your story, or not, I didn't read it. I saw your story yesterday, and I was like, I have to meet this kid. So Wyatt Mitchell, Wilson, sophomore, and yesterday you make this. Did this all happen yesterday?
It was like 2 days in the building. It was last week Friday, and it was Monday where it really started, where I really was just like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
What was it? Like what did you say I'm not going to do anymore?
I'm not going to wear my mask. I'm just not going to do it anymore. It really happened all of a sudden because in my fifth period class on that Friday, it was an all period day. It was the first day of the semester, and I was just like, might as well get off on the right foot. But I'd gone the whole day without masks. Most of my teachers hadn't said anything. And then my fifth period teacher, the second I step in the door, they go, put on your mask. And I go, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry.
So within that period of time, what's the worst comment you've heard? Because you have to, people have to be so angry, right?
Yeah, like, you're selfish, you're ignorant. I'm like, okay, but really that doesn't get to me because, like, it's mostly on social media, like Instagram. Like, you have to search up my name. You have to find me somehow. Like, you have to go find me to leave a negative comment or reply to something. Yeah. Like, really, like, what are you doing? You could be doing so much more.
Why is it that you took a stand? I mean, there's so many other people that are just like, hey, if I need to do this to be safe, I'm just going to do it. Why did you make the decision?
Well, the CDC says cloth masks don't work. They claim that, I believe they say that the surgical masks also don't work unless you're really sneezing, like unless you're directly coughing onto someone, which, like, if I'm sick, sure, I'll wear a mask, I guess, but I'm not sick. I'm a healthy young man who's outside, active all the time. I don't need to wear a mask.
So you said, okay, I read the information. I looked at what the CDC guidelines are saying.
It's not about health anymore. It's about wearing the mask. It's about complying, and I'm done complying.
So but your school has a rule. Mm-hmm. So that's the CDC, but your school or school district, do they have a rule that you have to actually do this? Or
I think it's basically everyone looking at each other. It's the teachers looking at the office looking at the district, and the district looking at, like, the state. Like, what are we going to do? And they're each following their own guidelines. And so they're really just guidelines, I believe. They're not law. They're not like, it's not like, you're not allowed to cuss out your teacher. It's not like that.
But it was enough to get you suspended from school.
I guess so, because they claimed I was disrupting class. But really, if you watch the video, I'm just learning. He walks in and immediately tries to accuse me of disrupting the class. I'm just sitting in the back of the class quietly.
Did they know you were going to do it? Did they know this going into the day?
They had prepared. Because I was giving out flyers in front. I was going up to people just like, I'm going to get suspended, take a flyer. And it was to not wear the mask. A lot of people laughed at me. Some kids flipped me off, yelled at me. I was just like, hey, man. I was smiling. I'm just like, hey, man. And then I tried to go in through kind of like, I guess it's like the secondary entrance, but like everyone's allowed to go in through it. There's people there, and they wouldn't let me in. They said, no, you're not getting in without a mask. I'm like, I'm outside.
Do you believe in keeping people safe? Like, do you believe in it? Do you go like, I want to keep people safe?
Well, I'm keeping people safe by staying healthy. If I'm healthy, you're not going to get sick from a healthy person.
They're saying, well, I don't want you to get sick. That's why I want you to wear a mask.
You want me to wear a mask because
I'm sick.
Yeah.
and I don't want you to get it from me. I'm just saying what I'm curious of what people are saying to you. Meaning, what are they saying like you're dangerous? You're doing something.
Some of them are saying I'm dangerous, but if they really look at the CDC, it says masks don't work. So I don't understand that logic there.
Yeah. So where does this go for you from here? Do you think what do you think?
We're really taking it step by step, but as of right now, I'm probably gonna go back to school tomorrow and not wear my mask or the smile on my face and probably get suspended again.
So you're going to keep going.
Yeah.
And
I just want to go to school.
Yeah. And what do you think? What do you like play this all the way out? What changes?
What changes?
Yeah. All the way through. What changes?
Well, getting more people at my school first off, because it really boils down to, like, I'm pretty sure each school, I don't think it goes to the district. I think it's each school. But once you get, here, I'll just go. I'm the first kid to say no. And it took them 3 days. At Wilson.
Okay, got it. At your school.
Yeah, I'm sure other schools' kids have said no and got suspended. But they freaked out. It took them 2-3 days. It took 2 armed guards. They had to call them. They weren't just there. And it was 30 minutes. I'm sure they were there before. My vice principal had called them. So they were there, ready. They were let in. Or they probably had keys. But yeah, they were let in knowing that they were going to suspend me. But I'm the first kid to say no. Imagine if 100 kids said no. 200, that's
Do you think it's going to happen?
I'm getting a lot of support, so why couldn't it? A lot of people who are very passionate with me, texting me, talking to me like, hey man, I'd love to do this with you.
Now, when I got suspended from school, my parents were not happy with me, right?
My parents were proud.
They were proud of you?
Yeah, well, half of them, yeah.
Yeah. So was that something you talked to them about before? You just said, I'm doing this no matter what.
Yeah, they said we support whatever you want to do. If you want to go to school and wear your mask and just, finish class, that's okay. And I said, no, I'm getting suspended tomorrow.
So what if the CDC came out and they said, you know what, scientific evidence, actually the mask works, whatever, it's this specific mask. It's not cloth. Everybody at Wilson, if you wore this specific mask in this way, it's going to eliminate. What would you say?
Wilson doesn't care what mask you wear. I've walked in. I've seen my friends.
They did.
If they gave every student,
everyone, it's this mask. Would you then wear it?
That's a tough question. I really don't. That's very hypothetical because I don't know if anyone could really. Everyone's going to wear that mask, but very expensive. But
well, if they made it a part of your uniform. I mean, does Wilson have uniforms?
Yeah, we have uniform tops and whatever bottoms. I don't know.
What I'm asking is is the issue for you that it's not based on science. It's not based on something that's really preventative. It's it feels like it's too subjective.
Yeah, it's that and the fact that this is a free country and I should be able to wear a mask if it's a guideline. If it were a law, then that's a different situation. But I'm in America, I have the freedoms to choose, and I have the freedom to a peaceful protest, which I was doing in the back of the class. And
someone might think of it as a helmet, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going to ride a motorcycle, you got to wear a helmet. But you would say that's different. That's not a guideline.
That's a law. That's for proven safety. That's proven safety that people who will fall off a motorcycle who wear a helmet are much likelier to survive. Much more likely to survive.
The thing that I wondered, honestly, when I first heard about it, I thought, what if this impacts his ability to get into college or it's on your resume? You're saying, I'm aware of what this potentially could do. By the way, some colleges, I'm sure, are watching you, maybe saying, we would love to have somebody like that. But did you think about all of that?
I did think about that. My parents actually told me that we contacted the school and they said the suspensions don't go on your record. They're only used in case let's say a student were to get arrested or something like that. Yeah. And they're a minor still and still go to Wilson. Someone or the police will go to there, check that wherever it gets put in a box to see if they're a violent kid or they've been suspended for similar stuff.
Now, in the video I was listening to, and I was wondering, is your heart pounding? Are you
I was very
I
nervous.
could hear your voice at times, you were feeling it.
Yeah.
But describe from that scared feeling, you're walked out of school with armed guards?
I almost was, because my swim coach actually came over, who was like right next door, and was like, hey, come out. Like, that's someone I trust.
Yeah.
Like, I've never met vice principal. I've never even met the principal. I've been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
I've never even
So
like
somebody,
didn't even know their
a
names.
teacher you
Yeah.
trust comes
Yeah.
in, like,
And he
why,
said,
let's go.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he was like, I'm on the phone with your dad, because my dad and the swim coach are very close.
Yeah.
And he said, come with me. And so I was like, okay, I'll leave now.
So let's say you do tomorrow, you go back to school, you don't wear this thing. Like, how many people, like, if you just threw it out there, I need how many people to join with me on this? How many do you think?
And all in Wilson, or in all in general?
Well, Wilson.
Wilson, we only need like a few hundred people.
And
We
what
don't-
happens?
We have a 4,000 student population. I think the tide turns. I think that the school, like, what are you going to do? Suspend 100 kids? Like, you're really good. Like, you know how many, that's 200 parents. That's 200 parents showing up at, like, if you have 100 kids in the office, that's too much. You have now 200 parents in the office. I think they can't say, we're going to suspend all of you. I think they tried to make an example out of me, but I don't know if it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work.
And what if it does work? What if their intimidation of you does work? What if other kids are like, look, why just put the stupid mask on, like, go back, like, you're saying no matter what, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. They can suspend me. I don't know how many suspensions until you get an expulsion, but
That's the direction you're going. And
Has to be.
you would say for them, if you wanted something from them, they either need to show you that it's a rule or a law or something over a guideline. And you're interested in science. Like, you don't want to get people sick.
yeah, I don't want people to get hurt. I don't like.
Have you had COVID?
Yeah, I have.
And you were okay?
I was fine. I basically was sick for about 2 days, and I still was able to exercise during those days. So, yeah.
And if somebody said, Wyatt, I had my, I think the mayor of Long Beach even, right, said he lost both of his parents through it, and said, this is why we're doing this. And you would say, what would you say to that person?
So like they say
They had family members that lost, or friend or spouse, or
I'd say I feel really bad for you, but this is also very similar. This is also a flu. I'm not sure if their family was compromised, like immunocompromised, but I'm a healthy young man. When I'm sick, I try not to. I'm not going to come into contact with you. I'm not going to be like, hey, what's up, man? I'm gonna.
But you did say you worked out when you had it, right? And a lot of people would say, "Why? What are you doing working out? You should have been quarantined."
I wasn't with other people. I was working out by myself.
So the more I hear I hear someone saying, like, I believe in personal choice. Like, I believe in personal choice. I'm going to be responsible.
Yeah, I'm not going to be angry if you want to wear a mask. I'm not going to be mad if you want to sit in class and wear a mask. Like, that's your choice, but I believe I should have my choice to not wear a mask.
Yeah. And you're saying you would be responsible,
Yeah, if I was sick, I would be responsible.
Yeah. So have you noticed your social media, you're getting a lot more followers? I'm just curious, how many followers did you get in one day or in the last 48 hours?
In the last day, because this all kind of happened in the last, last 48 hours. I think I was at something like 200, and now I'm at something like 470, and I went private just because of there was a lot of people commenting hate, and I think I have 150 requests.
Just sitting there.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go through that. I got better things to do, man. I got homework.
And why do you think, because I think it's a lot of personally, I saw so many adults sharing this video and so many people what do you think it is about you that people are resonating? You think people have been frustrated, angry? Like, why is this happening?
I think they've been frustrated, but they haven't had someone as an example to be like, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Because I think the fact that I was very respectful really resonated, because a lot of people it's easy to be angry, but it's very hard to be respectful, especially when someone's telling me I'm wrong and stop doing this, and trying to say that I don't know my rights and I don't have a right, which is.
Is that what was told you? You don't have the right to make this decision?
Yeah, basically. In the video, I took a clip of it, or I took the start of the sentence, because I was filming myself, and then I flipped the camera to him, and he goes, "Stop filming me." And I was like, "Well, I have the right." And he goes, "You don't have a right." And so I was like, "Oh, this is weird." And he's telling me I'm not in control. I was like, "Dude, this is weird." I just kept asking him to call my dad. I'm a minor. I'm doing nothing wrong in my class. I just want you to call my dad. Then we can work this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think whatever you're doing, some people agree with it, some people don't. But
That's their opinion.
you've
They can have
created I would say, I'd call it a tipping point. You know, there's like these times in history and life, like where it feels like you're at this tipping point, and it seems like. Well, let me ask you: if you took 10 students at Wilson, how many would be for you, and how many people would be like, "This is wrong"? Like, what would that look like? How many people are like, "I'm going to do this with you"? Do you think out of 10?
Out of 10, it's got to be like one. Like one are like really with me, like, dude, that's awesome. And then like there's probably going to be like 5 or like I'll say 5 that are like no, and then the rest are probably the other 4 are probably like whatever, man, like just do it. Like they're not like they don't really have an opinion. They don't take a side, which is
they're in the middle.
Scary,
they don't or maybe they might even agree with you,
yeah.
but I don't want any trouble at school.
Yeah.
I don't want the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's kind of the worst when they're like, "Oh, I agree with you." I'm like, "So you're gonna help me?" They're like, but I mean, it's understandable. They are a kid,
Yeah.
and like, they might not have the parents I have who are like, "We'll be with you 100%,"
Yeah.
but they also didn't have like the leap because like I wasn't sure. I knew my parents would back me, but also like now on social media I have like 60,000 parents apparently helping me. I've been told or supporting me.
So how would I hear you on your social, it's crazy when you think of, you're a minor, you're 16 years old, right? You're doing all of this, but how would somebody follow your story? How would somebody stay up to date of watching what's going on? And let's say tomorrow morning, somebody's interested. How do we follow you?
I mean, Instagram's kind of tough right now since there's so many people, and I don't want to deal with because it's even hard because there's people at like my school. I'm like, I have like 30 people from school, but I'm like, are you gonna spread hate? Because like these are people from my school saying like giving me threats like, I hope you never come back, you suck, and like going like on social media posting on the story, F at Wyatt Mitchell. I'm like, okay, like
but you expect this, right? A little bit. I mean, that's gonna happen. So you would say right now, you don't have a plan of how somebody could follow you.
Yeah, I mean, there's also Long Beach Parents United, which they posted my full video. They posted, I think, I'm not sure if they posted the clip of my vice principal saying, you don't have a right, but that will probably be on there. Look at Let Them Breathe. I'm going to be on a little snippet in their radio show there. Okay. So that should be cool.
Well, I think a lot of people will want to follow you, will want to see where your story goes. I think what I see specifically what's going on is I think people really don't like inconsistent messaging, right? Mm-hmm. Like when something feels inconsistent or it feels like this group of people don't have to do it, but this group of people do. And I think that's where there's a lot of frustration and unrest. And it feels like almost like wearing a mask in some cases has been politicized. And so absolutely. It's really interesting to watch a 16-year-old take this on with their school. And I think it's commendable that you're standing up for what, you believe in and want to do. And you're taking a stance, Yeah,
thank you.
So, well, I'll be watching your story tomorrow because I want to hear if you'll have another day off or not. Meaning with all these upcoming days off, but you're still doing homework. You're still engaged in your classes and all of that. Well, I'm so thankful to have the chance to be able to talk and to hear where a lot of this is coming from for you and hearing where you go with it next. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Good for you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. That was fun. Thank you.
Yeah.